Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So, in the past a week or so, many of our Wing Chun friends, our martial art friends have sent me a video, a YouTube video. The video titled Karate versus Wing Chun, who won? So different friends send me these videos and you can expect many messages they send to me. Some says Wing Chun never works versus karate. Some says Wing Chun need to practice MMA in order to make it work. Some says the Bruce Lee's Enter of Dragon, Bruce Lee versus the Ohara techniques, which is using in that karate versus Wing Chun video, doesn't work. It is just movie. So I was bombarded with so many different comment message to me, and of course there are some Wing Chun friends and martial art friends ask me, so will the 1850s Wing Chun work against karate? And of course, there are also friends who message me saying, it is not the style, it is the people who decide or who uh, win or lose. Look at this messy of messages. So today I like to respond to this video, this Wing Chun versus karate who won, or karate versus Wing Chun who won video. Today I wear this t-shirt with Wing Chun here. Or I can show you the same as in the movie. Wing Chun, Hendrik Santo. Does it mean that I know anything about Wing Chun? As soon as I wear this t-shirt and I make a posture like this? Well, of course not. But today, in this world, as I just shared in the previous YouTube, you have two groups of people. One group, the people who is the old group. And then there's the young group. The young group pointing finger and the old group say, you guys are lineage cult. And then the young group, the old group pointing finger at the young group, saying that they are just doing MMA and something else and call it Wing Chun. But it seems that nobody cared to look into what exactly is Wing Chun is about. Well, you cannot blame people too. Why? Because since 1870, it is a complete mess. As in the other YouTube I shared 2 days ago. The Wing Chun today, which is created in 1870, is actually violating General Chi Guang's fighting law and violating the Shaolin short strike teaching. It's something else. So today, let's take the Bruce Lee versus O'Hara in the Enter Dragon movie move. See whether this works or not. Okay? Let's take this using the 1850s Wing Chun, the techniques, the technology, see whether it works or not. Okay? Now, as what I shared in the previous video, I am just like a high school physics teacher. Chapter 1, Newton's first law. Chapter 2, Newton's second law. In this book, the restricting Wing Chun. So I do not create anything. This is actually the teaching of Shaolin, Chi Guan. The first thing of 1850s Wing Chun is on the shoot in and fill in. Okay, it's written there already. The second is about dodging and or what is called concessions without concessions. The third thing is about the half step when attacked. Half step when attacked. The fourth thing is the plum flower footwork. Okay, you look at this plum flower footwork with 4 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the branch. Okay, remember this. You can come back to this. It is important, critical. I need to show you this because, again, I'm just a high school teacher. Chapter 1, Newton's first law. Chapter 2, Newton's second law. Blah, 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 blah. I don't create things. This is what it is. So using what it is, see if the Ohara, the Bruce Lee defeat Ohara techniques in the Enter of Dragon, which is using in that Wing Chun versus karate who won video works or not. If you really know and you nearly train in it, develop with it, spar with it, okay? So let's open it up for the entire world. What is not being opened up since 1870, the approaching Wing Chun? So again, it is not about me, my Wing Chun, Hendrik's Wing Chun. No, this is what is in the history. Now, so let's look into what is the characteristic uniqueness of the 1850 Wing Chun first, before we get into the Bruce Lee versus Ohara techniques, which is using in that Wing Chun versus karate video, which of course it doesn't work completely. Now, so we need to know, as what I just read from you, Wing Chun 1850 is a sticking body short strike, meaning the leg attack, the body attack, the two arm with the elbow attack this close. That's the characteristic of Wing Chun. It fight this close, and due to it fight this close, it has to be from this distance, from the outside fighting distance, shoot in to the opponent, and in the same time, of course, the leg is attacked, the body is attacked, the hand is attacked, and getting this close, okay, press in. This pressing in this close or sticking in is called fill in. Fill in. So, for example, this is not filling in. There's a gap between me and the opponent. This is filling in. Okay? So my leg is attacking him, my body is attacking him, two arms is attacking him, so I'm feeling in. Okay? Hope that you got it. Okay? So because I'm feeling in, I'm making him offensive. Sorry, I'm making him defensive while I'm offensive. Okay? Now, so shoot in is you get in. Shoot in is not this. Okay? Now, shoot in is also not just punching those kind of stuff. Okay? Now, so get that clear. Shoot in meaning you have to get in. Now, the next thing, okay, so this is what I shared already just now with you in the book. The next thing is that Wing Chun 1850 is attack with concessions without concessions. So it is not going to fight. Like this guy is standing like that, fight straight, or using the hand to fight straight this way. Okay? It is not. It is always you dodge in. You don't fight him square. Unless you are really powerful like a giant, okay? He is 50 pounds, you are 500 pounds, you just like an elephant, you just squeeze the hell out of him, okay? But Wing Chun is not that. Wing Chun is a soft art. It is concessions without concession. It's always dodge and angle in. It's called concess without concessions. Now, if you heard what I'm saying just now, that's called attack by stealing half step. What is that? So with that, we need to understand about the plum flower footwork. Today in Wing Chun, everybody talk about plum flower footwork. But what is plum flower footwork? Now we have to be really serious. When the ancient, the 1850, the Shaolin talk about footwork, it is not as what you see today. Oh, you have this footwork, like you're walking in a pattern, a plum flower pattern, and you call that plum flower footwork. And then you have this your hand techniques. It is not that. The difference between a dance and martial arts, Chinese martial art, is the footwork with the body work, with the arm techniques need to form a momentum which can take down or smash your opponent. If you don't have that momentum, forget about it. Those are not Chinese martial art. Those are dance. Those are dance choreography. Too bad today's in all the movie, it is dance choreography. You don't have the body work and you don't have that momentum. It's just hand. If you look at that karate versus Wing Chun video, who won video, which is about almost 1 million people look at that. Those are not momentum. Those are hand techniques. Wing Chun 1850 is not that. So let me share with you on the basic of plum flower footwork. Okay, you need to really know this. So the plum flower footwork, this this dot here is actually show the front leg of the opponent, the lead leg of the opponent. This is behind him. This is on his left or right. This is on the left or right. This thing, the branch, this is actually, if this is my opponent, my rival, this actually my front of my lead leg. Okay? So, if you look from top view, from top down, this is one of the flower petal. Behind that is another petal. This is another petal. This is another petal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I stand here. This is the branch petal. You can scroll back to the what I just showed you on the book just now. Okay? Now, let me share with you, say on this Bruce Lee's to O'Hara's versus O'Hara's the Enter of Dragon movies techniques. See, does it really work in the 1850 Wing Chun? Now, I put it this way so you can see what I'm, all those details of the technique. So, plum flower footwork. This is the front pedal, back pedal, left and right, or left and right, or right and left, right? When I stand here, when I stand here, when I stand here, so this is one of the branch in the drawing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 petal, and this petal here. This petal actually is half step from the opponent's lead leg. Opponent's lead leg, half step. Now, if I stand this way, this is called neutral half steps. Neutral half steps. If I stand this way with the back leg, my weight in the back leg, this is called concessions half steps. Okay? Now, with this half steps here, the neutral half steps, I can punch him, he can punch me. If I'm smaller, he can punch me, I cannot punch him because he's half step away from his lead leg. If it's bigger guy, taller guy, he can punch me. If we are the same size, I can punch him, he can punch me. If I have a smaller guy, he's a big guy, in the neutral half space, he can punch me, I cannot punch him. This is called neutral half step. This is concession half step, right? If I do a karate stance here, okay, a cat stance here, or a back stance here, this is a concession half steps. See how far I am with his body, with this body, big space, right? Wing Chun 1850, in that book is saying that in attack, you are using the stealing half step. So what is the stealing half step mean? We know this is a neutral half step. This is a concession half step. What does stealing half step mean? Stealing half step meaning this. You see, I lean in. Now my body lean in. My hand is in his face, in his chest. This is called the lean half step. My leg doesn't move, right? Lean half step, neutral half steps, concession half steps. So always there's a saying, if you know the ancient plant flower footwork, it say step on the plant flower, steal the half step. Now, this stealing of the half step is actually with what? With the shoot in. It thrusts out with the back leg. With the stealing half step, it smack the guy, and this is how it charge in. Okay? So you are not standing in this neutral half step playing your hand techniques like the Bruce Lee or Hara case. You are not doing this. You need to using the stealing half step you go for him. If you want to use that Bruce Lee versus O'Hara techniques. Why? Because when you lean in, you shoot in your entire momentum. It's just like you sprint in. Okay? Now, you're not standing there in the neutral, standing this. Even worse, if you're standing like that, try to fight like using Chi Sau, you get beat up. Okay? So this is half step, not in the neutral half step. You go in with your entire momentum like you do sprinting. Okay, when you run, you sprint in, right? You're sprinting like that, the entire momentum go. It's not your hand technique stand there moving your footwork and hand technique. No, it's the entire body shoot in. So even if you're smaller, you have the entire momentum. He's a bigger, you shoot in. Now, that's not even all of it. When you shoot in with this half step, with a shoot in, guess what? It is not this. It is not this. It is actually this. If you don't see it, it's here. You notice I am not half step this way, shoot in half step this way. I am actually going in with this. So, let me share with you more so you see. I am not going shooting him this way. I'm actually shooting him from this direction. You see this? You just pay attention to my leg. If I'm shooting in from here, my leg is here. I push from here. Now, if my leg is here, I'm shooting from here. Okay? So back to the Bruce Lee O'Hara techniques. This is half step. But when you touch him, your leg is still in half step. You know my body is ready for that shoot in as soon as I touch. When I touch, when I really touching it is going like that. Shoot in already. My body is already shoot in, fill in. So if I do it a little bit faster, the minute I touch is go. Now, this hand is not this. Okay? You see when I come in, it is actually this hand. This hand is just for guarding. This hand, this is a twist snap. This is not. If I do this, I still lost if it's a big guy. So it is from here. You thrust in. You the entire body you spear in. So you stand like that. He's straight. You just go in. Okay? So it is your entire body you shoot in. Once you are here, this is face, you fill in. Okay? So, to recap everything, it is not standing in the neutral, playing this. You know you're going to get screwed. It is not staying in the concessions, half step to doing this. Come on, you're going to get kicked. It is doing the dodging, concess without concession, shoot in from this. Okay? So he go on the other side and right away you are in already. Now, that's how it works. All the details. So that's why you need to have a shoot in. To shoot in forward, shoot in sideways. Look at my back leg. Even I face him like this. I can shoot from this. I can shoot this direction. I can shoot this direction. You need to have that techniques there and be able to be proficient. And once you shoot in, you are feeling in. You're attacking with your knee and so forth. So it never can be like this, the stance. It never, okay, like it never be that those kind of stance, and it never be. If you do this, if you do this, if you do this dragging type of stance, you are not going to be able to use the plum flower footwork. So, those who know plum flower footwork, the first step is body weight front is ready to shoot you. Or, 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 okay? It never being like that. And you don't understand this way. Now, so what if he's too big? You cannot handle it. Even you are proficient with all this, you cannot handle it. Well, you always can dash out, right? So it has to be mobile. And that's why if you look at all the 1850, the Shaolin sword strike, the Chi Guang, when they play momentum, it never being always put your leg in one side or structure. It is all dynamic. And you need to be able to change direction. And you need to be able to, when he come in, you just doing the concessions without concessions. So in the conclusion, you see that what shown in that video, per 1850s Wing Chun definition, it is not Wing Chun. It is just a moving of hand. How are you going to handle a big guy like that? Now, if you go back to see to watch the Bruce Lee versus O'Hara Enter of Dragon clip, where Bruce Lee doing defeating the O'Hara. You look at Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is using his momentum. You see, he leaned forward. Even though Bruce Lee doesn't know this half-step stuff, the plum flower, but because of his experience and his proficiency, his body be able to naturally get there. Otherwise, you are land swimming. So the differences between land swimming or no land swimming is that momentum thrust in, as Bruce Lee had shared in that movie. Even though it is a movie, but it is a real deal because Bruce Lee's body has been conditioned that way for the real fight. That's why you know Bruce Lee is a good fighter. Even though he never learned whatever I share with you here in the ancient China, he knows His body has to have to work this way versus a bigger guy, using the momentum to snap the guy off. And as what I shared with you today, it is not a straight line. So plum flower footwork, the first pedal, back pedal, this pedal, unless you're a really big guy, you go straight. Otherwise, you don't go straight. You go slant in. Okay? So if you say, oh, Wing Chun versus karate, when you stand in this kind of stand, try to touching his hand and everything, like in that video, you know you lost already. You cannot handle the momentum of the karate guy. And even that the karate guy is not even Kyokushin. If it's Kyokushin going to exchange, how the hell are you going to you going to play your hand that way? Okay? And just look at all this Kyokushin. They really snap in. You have no chance. You're completely gone with your lower part of the body. And that's why Wing Chun 1850 always shoot in. You always want to feel in. You don't want to give him the chance to use his leg or to move if you can. So this is what I like to share with you. So again, I wear this t-shirt today, Wing Chun. Does it mean that I know Wing Chun? Not necessary. So we need to look into what the ancient present, not keeping my grandmaster saying this. My grandmaster is the king of Wing Chun saying this. And then the other part say, hey, we need to fight like an MMA guy. Or else Wing Chun never work. Wing Chun never teach you how to fight. Are you serious? Do you know what is Wing Chun? So I found out many people practice a little MMA, a little bit MMA, and start to try to dictate Wing Chun. So today I share this with you. This is just a tip of iceberg. So that's why in sparring, you know, is it Wing Chun or not? Is it Wing Chun? They will go shoot in right away and fill in, and then put the opponent into defensive mode. That's what the Wing Chun, the theme of Wing Chun is. Big bow, 埋山連環擊. So even if you're smaller, because you don't go against his momentum, you use momentum in the dodge way. That's how you defeat him. That's why in that book it says that it's translated already for that. That's how the smaller guy be able to par at least with the bigger guy, or to fight the bigger guy. Or else you just hand technique standing here, all those hand technique, Chi Sau, come on. That's not real life, okay? So this is what I like to share with you. You like it, you don't like it, you hate me, that's okay. I just share it with you, like in the beginning I shared with you. Chapter 1, Newton's Law 1. Chapter 2, Newton's Law 2. It doesn't matter who say what in physics. That's what Sir Isaac Newton said. I just a messenger.